if the Japanese government is Ishii Shiro's and mental hospital and human bodies and the researcher and education professor. Probably the Ishii Shiro, the Dajubo, and the Rockefeller, and created the Jamindang, and the Jamindang is the mental hospital, white collar, and theoretical, and the hospitals and the white collars and the member. All of those and members comes from the Jamindangs and the groups come from the Satan churches and hospitals and the professor. Satan churches and the professor gathering is a Jamindang is and hospitals professor. And the Ishii Shiro must be needed to some of the and research and experiment research sample. In that reason, and the Ishii Shiro, they are using some of the and special power and 100% let me in at the mental hospital and let me in a physical hospital eating the drugs. If I continue to reject the drugs, they were something like and today they were and growing out of the and special are growing the Kobe city. And the Dajubo, and the Dajubo is number 4, and Dajubo's his son name is Yonggon, and his name is An Jonggun, and the Dajubo's son is the name of the An Jonggun. And in historical view, and before the World War II, the Anjungan and killed and Ito Hirobumi. And who is the Ito Hirobumi? Apparently he and the second charger in and the Tokyo government and key member, but probably he is a theoretical Korean islands and who related to Japan and Tokyo governments and first and powerful person in a Korean island. And his name is Ito Hirobumi. So who is the theoretical Ito Hirobumi? He is and the second charger in Nanjing, and the Sun Jung-san's next person. And the Sun Jung-san is a creator of Nanjing government and the founder, national father in China, New China. His name is the Sun Jung-san. But and the second charger of the New China before the World War II, his name is probably Ito Hirobumi. He is Chinese, and Ito Hirobumi is a theoretical, and the person is Chinese. And who is Ito Hirobumi in the picture? The CIA and take the and Ishii Shiro's and picture, and he's and the picture, the theoretical person is and Nanjing government second charger. Because he is and Ito Hirobumi, so he is a very and smart man, she and airplane. She is and going to the Tokyo, and she is and going to the German, Italy, and created some of the and anti-Kungsan parties and groups. In that reason, the Ito Hirobumi is a Nanjing government's second person. The An Jung-gun, who is the An Jung-gun? An Jung-gun is the Samsung Group's and the second charger. And Yongoni. Yongoni is the second charger. And Yongoni is a theoretical Samsung Group second charger. And she is also the ATL and the world's biggest battery makers and charger. And Yongoni is and ATL's and the biggest boss. So ATL, who is the ATL? The Gong'an system. And China's and the police officer we call the Gong'an. And Japan's police officer we also call the Gong'an. And Japan and China's police officer and groups we call the Gong'an. And so the Yongoni and control all of the Gong'an's system, most powerful law system, police official group. And he also and controlled not and just police officer. She controlled all of the China's and the law system, including the and judgment person, also including all of the and the New York judgmental and the New York City's and the law systems judgmental and China's and the highest and classes law judgmental person under his and control. And Yongoni also created and something like X-ray and pass through the humans and meet to and overwatching the humans and the inner side of the shape. And Yongoni also created the and brain detection signal machine. And he 24 hours and detection, probably the European country and the United States and Japan and Korean island and China, India, all of those countries and brain detection signal will be under gathering ATL company, the law system. So the Yongoni and probably he's a number 11. The Igoni, the Yongoni and the same person. He's and number 11. The bad sides and number 11. And they apparently and protecting some of the and green clothes and worker, and he is just and transportation company's worker. He even if and cannot type in the computer, and he pretended very and perfectly, and behind the perfect he is theoretical and number 11 of Satan Church. He is the theoretical and the CIA law systems and the biggest boss. His name is the Yongoni, and his name in Bobe and the Panasonic factory and Nakamoto Seiichi, Zhongben Chengmi is the Yongoni, and China's biggest, China and Japan's and the biggest and law systems charger, and he is a Satan Church's and theoretical and 11. So, and the 11th, the Satan group's 11, Yongoni created the Samjang and zero-sum game, and also the Dao experiments and the sorrow and experiments and situation. The Yongoni is Satan Church 11. Apparently, if the LDP created by Ishii Shiro, and in beginning, probably out of the Japanese company just and founded some of the worker and great person, but after that, but the Sharp and the Sony and the Panasonic is very special, and probably the thousands of Japanese companies, the founder is clean, but the key is not a side of the and company side. The key problem is on the law system, because the LDP control the 100% more than 70 years old. Only the LDP can reach the law systems, government information, and the Nikkei information, and out of the Nikkei related Nikkei also and one of the government system. So, and in this reason, and the LDP using some of the special power in some parties' power and buying the and thousands of the Japanese and the Nikkei and stock markets. Why I'm saying that? And probably the 1985 years, the Japanese and the stock market is just rocket high. In that and the Japanese and the citizen. In that reason, the Japanese citizen and starting join the buying and Nikkei and stock markets and share. And this is he is also the Jamindang's and the person killing people. And so the LDP's government start to buying thousands of and Nikkei companies and market share, not market share, stock share. And if a stock share over control the 50%, out of those and the Nikkei company must be listened to the and shareholders and who has a special power, because I investigated who is the biggest Panasonic and stockholder and not stockholder, shareholder, also who is and the Sony's and shareholder, who is and Hitachi's shareholder. But in apparently and the information, there is only some of them, the few banking system like Mitsubishi and the Sumitomo and the banking, also some of the like investment and the banking, but they are and share the market share and the holder the percentage only on the 2 and 2 or and 3% gathering, but and who and holding the and 95 more than 95% of the Nikkei and the share and the stockholder. Is it a Japanese? No. And the Japanese and in their and the human character, they're not holding, they're not buying and the shareholders. He is also one of the LDP's members. And a lot of the LDP's members maybe they are only and they apparently talking about and their stories, but Hayden the talking, he is just talking about my privacy and things, my weakness and my strong points. They are the murder, reality of human killer. And the probably the shareholder is 100%, 95% of the shareholder because the accident of the 1990s and the 5 countries and the government gathered help. So, suddenly the stock market and bankrupted and front and probably and one third only and just 1/5 of the entire market level. So and the shareholder is analytical and LDPs and so the LDP and the 5 countries and they're just trying to and kill the out of the Japanese citizen. The LDP trying to kill out of the Japanese citizen using the stock market price bankruptcy. And in that reason, after 2,000 years, no and the Japanese citizen can buy a single moment of the Japanese stock and share. So, and the Japanese entire the market share maybe below than and 5% in Nikkei's and entire market share, and the rest and 90% of the Japanese Nikkei's and the stock share probably the holding and the LDP's member holding 90% of the Nikkei stock market share. If who and the Nasdaq and the Google, the Nasdaq and related out of the company, and the Chinese the Sichuan related Chengdu military, also the European countries and the stock market are related and company. If join Japan to investigate the Nikkei's shareholder percentage, who is and theoretical and the Nikkei the 20,000 and the company's shareholder, we know who is the theoretical Japanese and the Satan group's people and why they and control the out of the Japan more than 70 years old, because there is Japanese no any and power to stop the LDP power. For that reason, and if an investigator and the new case 20,000 companies shareholder, we know the evil behind the black side.